Mike is great. You good? Now, the last time we saw you, Mike, you was tiptoeing off through the tulips. So good to see you back and not in a back brace.
That's why
Well,
you
Howard
exercise.
Stace is back.
Well, you know what? It's too early. Come on now. Let's get it. Come on now. Good morning, sis. Love you, Stacy. Now, good morning, NFL football week. Ladies and gentlemen, we had some professional football go down this week where the NFL held its annual Hall of Fame game in Canton, Ohio. The Chicago Bears and the Houston Texans battled to the death in Ohio out there in the storm and rain. No, there were no starters that played in this game, but that's not really why we watched. I know personally I watched because I wanted to get a fresh up close live look at this new playoff rule thingy majiggy that they got going. Oh, not playoff, sorry, kickoff.
That's what I was saying. What playoff rule? Like, what
Kickoff.
is
This one right
this?
here. Now, I am not going to get too far in the weeds as far as the nuances and minutia of the new rules, but this picture right here illustrates it the best. Basically, the kick return team and the kick off team are now just separated by 5 yards. The team cannot move until a player touches the ball or the ball hits the ground. Um, Mike, what were your thoughts on that? Did you see the live kick and did you like the aesthetics of it all?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's only gonna get better from here because I think people have to kind of play it out, and you can have strategy on this. So I'm excited to see what everyone does with it. Yeah, I mean, it's something new. I mean, they change stuff like this all the time, so let's see if it works. I think we'll have to have a couple breakouts for it to stay in place. Because if it just stays like what they I think they tackled them on the 25 on this one. That ain't gonna work.
So wait, what do you elaborate when you say strategies? What are you thinking here as far as strategies being used with this new format?
Like bundles up, potentially having like more people. I don't know how many you can have, and if you only can have 2 or if you could have 3, that would help. Little bundle package for the blockers. I think you can't necessarily show all your cards in one area like this play right here, because then it's just like, oh, okay, you go after him, like then you're just gonna get 5 yards or whatever it is.
And see, that's making it too technical. They've been saying the no fun league for the longest, and it's like now y'all done already got players concussed, injured, everything else. Now y'all want to be err on the side of caution and safety. I don't like it. But like Mike said, I'm gonna need somebody to start breaking some off to, for me to really be excited about it. And what I thought was funny is you got Devin Hester going into the Hall of Fame.
Right.
He's the NFL leader all time in punt and kickoff touchdown returns. Like I just don't. I think it's. And then you got like right here, you got them. They stand in 5 yards. They cannot move until the other team like touches the ball. Like I think that's just kind of. It takes away some of the action, but I guess once, like Mike says, once somebody, breaks one off and gets it at least to the 40 or the 50 or, it'll be a little bit more exciting. But I was like you guys, I strictly watched it just so I could see how that would.
I will say that the traditional kickoff is probably the most dangerous play in football, just because you got to think, like you running down, trying to tackle somebody from afar at full speed. Then you got like in some plays on the kick return, you have a gunner who's sprinting towards the best tackler, trying to ear hole him, so it's like to try to get a decleater. And so like, that's just, anytime someone's running full speed against full speed, that's a hard hit.
What the most dangerous play in NFL is? Damn it, Jack Tatum.
Oh, you in your bag this morning, huh? With the Jack Tatum reference.
Like football and hockey are 2 of the most violent sports. You don't see, you don't have the hockey players coming out talking about they have CTE. They let them fight. They take it off and they get the fighting squaring up right there in the ring. They're skating at each other full speed. And unless I'm incorrect, you get more speed skating than you do running. Again, it's not like I'm just out here wanting people to get mangled and hurt and everything like that. But when we all grew up, that's the football that we saw. That's the football that was exciting to us. That's the football that we liked. And we still like football. We're still going to watch it no matter what rule they put into play because that's what we like. But it's I mean, I used to love the segment. You got jacked up. Like I used to love that segment. So, to see that it's a violent sport. So how do you take violence out of a violent sport? Like it's like if you watching UFC or MMA, how do you take the violence out of that?
Give them gloves, I guess. I mean, because that used to be no gloves. So
no, that is the true definition of violence. But you know what, Tasha? I think that the lasting memory was the infant in the baby crib, the Thriller dance when Tua was laying on his back on Monday Night Football. No, look at me. We're not laughing. When Tua was laying on his back, looking like a cockroach that just got sprayed with rage.
But was that the result of a punt or a kickoff?
It was not, but I think that horrified this new generation of watchers. Now that this ain't your mama's. And good morning to Andrew Thomas Merriman, aka Drew, who said the Cowboys are so 1990s. Look, don't start that yet. I'm already dreading that segment coming up. I'm already dreading that. What up, Lauren? How goes it? Don't start this morning. But like to your point, he's saying the 90s. When you could, Mike said, ear hole somebody, so people don't know where somebody just hit you. You running straight, somebody come decleat you. Your shoes laying over there. By the assistant coach, and we like that. The jacked up segment was fun. They used to market. Remember the NFL Today would come on with Phyllis George and the Greek and all of those guys, and they would start it about the most violent hits leading into the show. Y'all, nobody got past the 25. Oh, in the Hall of Fame game. I mean, that's the same as a touchback last year, right? You get to 25. I didn't see
like if it lands in that green, you have to run it back. What was it? I forgot what they said.
It was the square root of pi.
Yeah, if you don't,
2.1466666666.
Right. Good morning, Stephanie. Now, Wayne, our resident football aficionado, says these guys are so big and fast now they have to do something. NFL is on the verge of having a player down the field. We almost saw that on Monday Night Football.
Yeah. I'm sitting right here on my couch when the Buffalo Bills player, and I literally was on my couch crying because I thought that young man had died on that field.
Right. And Drew, tell these players to man up and go tell the mammy. Now, Drew, I'm gonna call you up and find out what the hell.
If I would have said that, you would have been ready to censor me. So go on and censor.
I would have. I ain't gonna lie. I would have. You are very right there, Tasha. You're very right. And Mike is like, Lord Jesus, let's get on to the Cowboys. Good morning, Mark Treese. I got a shout out for you later on, baby cakes. Make sure y'all tune in for that. But this guy here went to Katy. If y'all don't know who Katy is in the realm of high school football, Katy, Texas. When you look at them on the field in that red and white, they look like the University of Wisconsin. It's like offensive line U, defensive line U. I saw him play against Kyler Murray and Allen in the state championship game. Kyler Murray was a bad boy.
Yeah, I was like, who won that one? That shout out to North Dallas area for dominating.
Katy won the first 3 quarters. They just couldn't stop Kyler. Kyler had too much going on. Good morning, Denise. Good morning, Farrah Fawcett. Hey, make sure y'all check out our take right after the extra point. That's hour is in HOUR, is in a 1 hour show. You're looking beautiful this morning, Farrah. We're talking about your Broncos here in just a little bit, so make sure you stick around for that. Go ahead, Tom.
Did you? Oh, you said Wisconsin. I'm sorry. Never mind. Go ahead.
Yeah, they were red and white. But that game against Allen was lit. I could not believe the size and athleticism. And shouts out to McKinney too. I went to their game last year. Great stadium. Stephanie says, "Nah, them boys are bulldozers." No, we hadn't even said nothing bad about Denver. I didn't say we was going to talk bad about them. We're just previewing the AFC West.
Not you talking about somebody as a bulldozer after you sent me this video of that bulldozer that you birthed. We're not gonna do that, Steph.
That his name is Carter Paul Coulter.
Yeah.
We call him Next Gen Coulter. Oh yeah, he has his jamboree today. We will get to that. Denise, y'all, my flight left 35 minutes late. I haven't gotten off the plane yet. Next flight boarded, and she's still here with us on the extra point. That's the love for the Goon Squad that we got.
Sounds to me like you could have missed that flight because I don't know if they're gonna hold that.
No, we're gonna speak. No, y'all quit. Don't do that to her. Yes, CPC is his name. Now,
No,
ladies and
she's
gentlemen,
flying into Atlanta Hartsfield. So if anybody out there know, that's the worst fucking
That is the
airport ever
worst.
on earth.
Fetty Wap, go pick up Denise. All right.
No, not Fetty Wap, please. No, not him.
Right, Carter Goons 2024. Shouts out to Thane as well. He's gonna be just as tall as Carter. Have y'all seen his son Thane lately? Drew?
No, Drew, drop some photos on the gram, on Facebook or something, Drew.
Thane is gonna be pushing you down the steps. Game day. It's game day for CPC. Christina says, did someone say Georgia? Good morning to you, Christina, on East Coast time, checking in with us. We got some Cowboy haters in there, so let's get to it. Ladies and gentlemen, oh God. Let me just...
You know it's bad if he up here sipping before he...
Yeah, okay. Well, real quick, before we get to the Cowboys, there were 4 touchdowns returned for kickoff returns for touchdowns last year. Over or under at 7. You taking the over or under, Tasha?
Ooh, I'm taking under.
You saying
Mike?
7? Over under on 7?
On 7.
So they're expecting more.
I'm expecting more with this.
I'll say more. So
you're going to take over. Now, let's let Wayne get this out of his system. He said, Paul, I haven't heard from you and your young cat telling me the Mavs would win the chip. Mike did too. Don't leave Mike out of it. Mike said 7.
I didn't.
Tasha, ain't nobody ask you. Come see, I'm already tense for this next segment, and Farrah's making it worse. Why y'all got to emasculate them? Like, let's get to it. Okay, so Mike, the Dallas Cowboys are making headlines. That's no surprise.
Yeah, you brought this to us, so we didn't even know about it.
Because we weren't trying to talk about them. I'm just saying. Good
morning. Now, Farrah and Wayne, I don't need y'all teaming up. Like, that's just a lot of... We don't need that. I know you ain't on here about to talk about my damn team. Shamika, stay with me. I need you to hold me right now. Hold me in your bosom. Hold me and cup the back of my neck and just let me lay there and cry because this picture that I'm about to post was awful. So, Sports Talk Radio this week, nobody is surprised the Cowboys are dominating the headlines. That's just kind of what they do. They just don't dominate the headlines for stories like this, which is shocking, surprising, and to me is leaving me with questions that I need answers to, damn it. So who better to ask than some Cowboy haters? Then I got them right here on set. So the local beat writers that have been covering the Cowboys all week in Oxnard, California, have been reporting back on the radio that the crowds have been shockingly sparse. That's right, Noble. Let's go, Cowboys. The crowds have been sparse. Now, when I say sparse, look, when I say he got his own money, I mean he got his own money. Look at this, y'all.
Ain't nobody there.
This is Cowboys camp. Now, 8 is our local ABC affiliate here. So this is coming from the damn news crew that's out there covering Oxnard. Yo, there was more people at my sleep apnea appointment than in them stands.
Hello. Is there anybody here?
What the hell is this? Mike, let's start with you. Why do you think this is?
I mean,
hold on. I'm sorry, Mike. Before we do that, producer, can we give the people some context? Let's go to some other place. Let's go to Nashville, Tennessee, and see what their live practice looks like. Mike, can we do that?
Looks like they got people there.
I think the people in Nissan Stadium last Saturday. What about San Francisco? Tasha's a 49er fan. Did they have anybody at their? There go 49er fans. Okay. I'm seeing 49er fans there. What about Philly? I know Philly. They had. Wow.
Yeah.
Bigger arenas. Go back to the Cowboys real quick, Mike.
1, 2. I'm counting 12.
They can't even put their hair back in a bun. Like this is wait a minute. Hold on. I can't even get to all of these. It's coming in so quick. Now, Christina, it's too hot in Texas. It is. Yesterday was
But they're
unbearable.
in California, Christina. They're in
But
Oxnard.
That's what's troubling because they're in California.
It's like 70 degrees over there, right? They said.
Sarah, I love it. I bet you do. Shamika says, I wouldn't be outside of that damn camp in 1,000 degrees, but that's just it. It's like 75 degrees in Oxnard.
Yeah.
She's like, it's camp.
Yeah.
She said the lights are on and ain't nobody home. Maybe the heat. Nope. And hold on. Y'all act like it's the preseason game. Now he said practice. We talking about practice. Okay, Cowboy fans are stepping in. It takes wins to put butts in the seats. People don't like defeats. Drew.
Look at that. It's 60 degrees. It's 60 degrees there right now.
It is 60. Y'all stop it. America's team. LOL. There were more people at the BGA scrimmage last night. BGA, shouts out to Miles. Look like middle school.
Yeah, it does.
In Idaho.
Yeah.
Okay. Which one of you two want to go first? Give me some reasons why this might be the case. We're getting some over here. I think let's start with Drew. Was it the playoff game?
I mean, I think they're tired of the shit show. It's like that's why I say the Cowboys fans are the most fickle fans that I've ever seen in life. When they're not doing, you remember every time when we went last time, and it was like the 49ers just took over the stadium. And what did you say? You said the Cowboy fans will have season tickets and sell their tickets because they don't come out and support their team.
They was working, Christina. I'm with you. They were working.
No,
she told y'all where to get.
Everybody else had time to take off and go support their local team. So I don't know why they couldn't.
Why we gotta be MAGA? See, this the Cowboys. This is the passion. Hold on. This is the passion. Mike is loving us crashing, bro.
You just hit me in my mouth.
Hold on, Mike. Is this what the kids? Is this what the kids mean by crashing out? Crashing right now. Hold on. She said, "Frame it to look how you want it to look." Mike, do we do that? We tried.
No, I mean, we looked at all the pictures and it was true. Like everyone's talking about how no Cowboy. And what I read, and I think what is realistic, kind of to Tasha's point, is they were tired. They were thinking that Cowboys were going to go all in. And so they were thinking about all these changes and then they didn't do anything. And so they're like, okay, well, what are we going to go see?
We're going to come back to all in, Mike, but that's a great point. And in Mike's defense, y'all, I came to Mike with the idea to find this picture. And being objective, Mike said, well, maybe
moving through the airport. She's trying to get there.
We got live coverage of the airport shenanigans going on in America. Hope she gets there. Hope she ain't flying Delta. But
she is.
Oh Lord.
Trail Bell, what's going on with your company, girl?
Should have flown Spirit. Back to Mike though. Mike literally said to me, and I'm gonna give him his flowers for this. He was like, well, maybe the Eagles. He's an Eagles fan. He said, maybe the Eagles didn't have one either. I said, let's pull it up and see. Oh, no. We said, well, what about the 49ers? Whoop, no. We was like, well, surely the Titans did. Whoop, no. They all had people there. My new team, T-Sister, don't start nothing, Tasha. Don't start nothing. Texas high school football pulls more fans than now, that is why they have the games out there.
Texas middle school has more fans than that. Come on.
I mean, but I really think they're tired of. I think they're tired of all the proms they could have used.
Mm-hmm. She said they could have used AI and put them folks in the stand like at the Chargers games.
And look, not the artificial intelligence. I mean, Allen Iverson probably would have had more people in the stands.
He's a Cowboys fan. He said, let them be in practice in Texas and then talk to me. See, that's what I want to think. Because you know that stadium going to be sold out for the home opener.
Yeah,
they never had this issue in Oxnard. So don't say it's location-wise because usually it is people.
Yeah, but maybe this is the thing that needs to change now. Like, okay, well, if California fans aren't going anymore, or maybe they're moving all to Texas, which is a side conversation, maybe you just put it back in Arlington, you know?
Mike, I like what you did there. With they moving to Texas. I know the history of that beef. Nice slap by you, sir.
And it's true.
It is. Look, there's truth in just about everything, but nicely done. I like the way you did that very subtly. Now, Jarrell makes a great point, and we're going to do a deeper dive into this. As long as them season tickets get sold, Jerry don't care. I think Jerry kind of does care because that's embarrassing. Because one thing that I left out of our opening salvo when we showed those pictures is the fact that the 104 was it 105.3.
The fan. Yeah.
The Fan is the flagship station of the Cowboys. I was listening to G-Bag Nation yesterday, and they said that the camera crews wasn't even there for Jerry. Now, when the camera crews ain't there for Jerry, that's a whole different level of.
But no, I do think Jerry is more. He's as long as them season tickets are sold. Because who was I can't think of who it was on First Take or whatever. They were like, they're the richest team or whatever in the United States, but they pay the less for their people. So I think Jerry's bottom line, first of all, is the money, and then he wants to win a championship. He wants to stay. You can't have it all, Jerry. You're gonna have
I want to debunk that too. Christina said, "Why did they use that dang field and not a stadium?" Christina, you might have been able to throw a rock and like not hit nobody for days if
they could have even had it in Frisco at the Star, and they would have had a lot of fans there. So
because them dancing girls draw more people than they do.
Yep.
Now Noble said you're gonna raise up. We sold out all season, and that's gonna be the case.
For what?
Just so they can resell it. That's all they do.
Sell the tickets when they start losing.
Come on now. We saw what happened when the 49ers went there.
Don't do that. Don't do that. There was a lot of Titans fans at that Monday night game too when Mariota and them came in there and won, and I was one of them. Now I want to go back to something that Drew said, and let's peel that back first because something tells me we're going to get stuck in this conversation for a minute. Drew said the fans are sick of losing. Now, Mike, you sent me a post that came from a Texas account on IG, and we looked in the comments.
Yeah.
Mike, you want to give them a synopsis of what was going down in those comments? Because it's basically
they were ripping it. They were like, quote, all in. Yeah, we'll go all in too, kind of thing. They're just tired of losing. He's like, we're not putting any money back into this team. That's kind of what they're thinking. Like, this is what's fueling Jerry Jones. It's not necessarily wrong. You take away his money, then he starts caring a little bit more. So what everyone's saying. So,
and they were basically putting the Texans, not the Texans, the Texas Rangers and the Mavs ahead of the Cowboys, which is blasphemy. Don't get out of pocket, Dallas. Don't get out of pocket. Like let's not be crazy here. This is Texas football reigns supreme. Tasha, one of the things that I noticed, and please elaborate on this because you've been following them for as long as I've known you. We've gone back 30 years, and you've seen the Cowboys at their highest and at their lowest. I have never seen a more dejected fan base by the result of that Green Bay playoff game this past January than I have seen in a long. I haven't seen fans that dejected since San Francisco flipped the title on us in '94 and took back the Super Bowl from us after we had beat them a couple of times and went to 2 Super Bowls. The fans were really crushed by that Green Bay game. Is there any coming back from that? Because there's people at my job that says they're done with the Cowboys until they win a playoff game.
I mean, because in my opinion, everything was in their favor.
Yes.
All because they had the big joker, the little joker,
yes.
the ace, king, queen, and jack of spades.
One club and one diamond.
Right. And for them, I mean, they could have ran a Boston, but for them to come out and perform the way they did, that was embarrassing.
Yes.
You had all your players they were all in.
Yes.
Everyone was there. You CD was there. Michael was there, although he barely played. You had everything that Jerry said he wanted in that organization was in that game, and they pulled up short. They didn't even perform. It was embarrassing.
Yeah, they had ED. Mike.
You know what?
We're all long out of this thing.
Mike choked up. Mike. Okay, how about this? Let me throw out this possible scenario because we know that the fans were crushed behind Green Bay, and now it's like, dang, we got to wait until January again. We've okay. What about this, Mike? Could it be the uncertainty of the future because CD's not there? You got an old ass Zeke back. There's nowhere near the player that he was when he bolted for Cabo to get his deal. Dak's looking like every day that passes look like he's going to go into free agency. And you know, once he hits free agency, he's gone. Nobody resigns their player once they get to the free agency standpoint. That's not going to happen. And the clock is ticking. Could that be a reason why fans are staying away because of the uncertainty of the future of the team? I'm just trying to parse this out.
I mean, that's why they say like the all-in factor because they don't even know like no changes and nothing was made during the offseason. So like no one knows what the future of the team is going to be. So it's like, oh, are they taking this season off? Because if so, then we're going to take off too.
Toss.
Look,
You're trying to be nice right now. Look, this doesn't happen often.
I mean, I am trying to be nice because y'all know for whatever reason I have fallen in love with CeeDee Lamb, and I'm never gonna. It's not gonna ever be Dak slander because of where he went to college. But it's kind of hard to continue to root for a team and an organization as a whole when you keep thinking you're going to get a rose and they turn it around and hand you the thorny end.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The old Lucy and Charlie Brown football scenario.
Like, I have never wavered in my fandom from the 49ers, but it was a time there when I said, I may have to get off his narcotic, as Bomani Jones likes to say, which is part of the reason why I started rooting for the Steelers. Because I was like, why am I going to keep supporting these bums? You got bad coaches. You don't have any decent players out there. You ruined Patrick Willis. Shout out to Patrick Willis, just went in the Hall of Fame.
Shout out.
Navarro Bowman, at the time when they were there, the team wasn't good. And if you're not a real fan, I think it's easier for you to jump off of that bandwagon and move on.
And you have to remember, there was a few weeks ago, we had Jalen on the show, and he basically said, I was born in 2000. I've never seen the Cowboys in an NFC championship game. Your whole life.
Yeah. I think that's a good point. Like, that's their brand, you know?
Right. You look at Elijah, Stiana's son, who I don't know what's his fandom now, but he was a Seahawks fan because at the time when he was born, that's when the Seahawks were winning. And he has a team right there in his backyard.
And Miles as well. Miles as well, Seahawks fan.
Miles was a Seahawks fan. They weren't Titans fans because at the time when they were watching television, that's who was winning.
Right. And speaking of the Titans, I liken it to 2021, where the Titans had just come off like back-to-back AFC South titles. A.J. Brown was one of the best receivers in the league. Ryan Tannehill was playing with confidence. Derrick Henry came off a 2,000-yard season, broke his foot mid-season, and still finished in the top 10 in rushing the next year. Remember, they had the number 1 seed, the lowly Cincinnati Bengals coming into town. Everything was set up for Tennessee to make a Super Bowl run, and they wet the bed. They led the league in 30-point games on offense and scored.
Now, Tannehill put a dirty diaper on.
He did. And the thing is, and to that point, that's where they lost the fan base. Remember the stands the year after that? Mm-hmm. Remember me the year after that? The light went out of my eye after that playoff loss.
Was that when they could have signed Tom Brady?
You want no damn Tom Brady?
That's that year though, right?
Tom Brady there, but
right. No, it was the year before that, but
okay.
But that was Derrick Henry's team, and Ryan Tannehill was playing excellent until that game. That game killed his career. He still doesn't have a team now. But Amy Adams Strunk after that. Think about how this is playing out and how eerily similar it is to what the Cowboys are going through now. The fans checked out. Vrabel, gone. A.J. Brown, gone. Derrick Henry, gone. GM John Robinson, gone. Amy was like, I ain't paying nobody nothing because y'all done embarrassed me out here. We got the number 1 seed.
But not Jerry. Who does Jerry keep getting rid of?
Now, I'm glad you mentioned that because now we about to play Angel's advocate for Jerry because we don't advocate for the devil on this show. I'm about to back Jerry up because for 2 reasons. One, let me throw some numbers out there to you. Since 2014, so in the last 10 years, the Cowboys have won 12 games, the last 3 years in a row, and 5 out of the last 10 years. One year was 13. They won the division 5 times in 10 years. They had at least 10 wins 7 times. And made the playoffs 6 times in the last 10 years. If you strip away the name of the Cowboys and you just put that out there for any fan base, they would take that over a 10-year period. Cowboys.
I'm going to stop you right now.
Stop me right there.
No, we getting ready. We got to play devil's advocate because y'all be evil when it comes to this right here. You want somebody to be happy with that season, correct? That's where you leading. If it was any other,
that's not where I'm going. You cut me off before I was able to get to where I'm going.
Okay, but we still gonna get it out there. Whenever I say something like that about my 49ers, but y'all didn't win no Super Bowl, it don't matter what they're doing in the regular season. Fans, the Eagles, them, the Titans, 49ers, we want Super Bowls. I don't give a damn if they barely get in. If they make a playoff run and get to the Super Bowl and win it, I'm glad to take that subpar season.
How is the lack of playoff success Jerry's fault when, as the owner and the GM, he's put a winning product on the field for 10 years? They have led the NFL in Pro Bowl selections since 2014, and 90% of those are homegrown, drafted Jerry Jones players, where he gets on the phone on that boat and says, "Hey there, would you like to be a Cowboy?" Those players that he has drafted has led to success.
He hired McCarthy, though, right?
Why is he? Yes, I mean the coaches, but why is he taking all of the smoke that he's not trying to win when he is putting a championship product together?
And I am going to defend Jerry Jones on that because I like old Gerald on some things. You can't blame him when he's done all that he was supposed to do as an owner. But when it comes to Jerry and the GM, what Mike just said, look at the coaches that you are hiring. Remember the play when they couldn't get the playoff in the last few seconds when they could have beat the Cowboys? It's play.
Mike McCarthy won a Super Bowl. How many coaches have
win that Super Bowl?
How many coaches have not won a Super Bowl? Wait a minute. What y'all surprised that Mike Vrabel got fired? He ain't never won no Super Bowl.
Who was surprised he got fired? Who?
Y'all, I didn't see what the Titans doing in the chat when we fired Vrabel. I'm just saying. As a general manager, he's top 5 in the NFL. What general managers have more success than him as far as putting together a roster over the last 10 years? 49ers, maybe? You really can't even say New England because that's just all Brady. He's like Mahomes now. You can just throw anything out there with him and he wins. The Eagles have done really well, but a lot of their stuff is done in the offseason with free agent additions and paying out a lot of money. I'm saying as far as drafting and developing players, let's look at his wide receivers. He had T.O. He let T.O. walk and then turn around and got Dez Bryant. Let Dez Bryant walk, he got Amari Cooper. Let Amari Cooper walk, he got Phoebe.
He gets a lot of credit for that too. And I really don't know how much of that Jerry is actually doing. Now, he's not like Arthur Blank that's going to let them draft another quarterback as soon as you just signed and gave another quarterback $300 million and then you draft another one. I think Jerry has a lot of input when it comes to that, which is part of the reason when him and Jimmy Johnson fell out because he wanted all the damn credit. So
Jimmy Johnson never won anything else after he left Dallas.
If you want all the credit, you gotta take all the criticism too.
As a general manager, he's done a great job. When are we going to start blaming these players, the CD Lambs that you love, the Dak Prescotts that will be no slander for?
Didn't we not blame the defense in that playoff game? Didn't we say the defense didn't show up? Didn't we say Dak wasn't no count in that game? We said that. Mike,
when we looked through those comments as far as why the stands were sparse, and for those that are just tuning in, I want to pull this back up. This is what the Cowboys camp looks like in Oxnard, California. It was Jerry. There was no Dak. There was no defensive line. There was no Micah. There was no CD Lamb. There was no nothing. And for Jerry Jones to go back to the all-in point that he made, he clarified that 2 weeks ago. We didn't get a chance to talk about it last week, but he said, I'm all in for this season. My quarterback is under contract this season. My receiver is under contract this season. Michael Parsons under contract this season. Mike McCarthy was sitting right next to him, and he said they know what's at stake this year. They know that we got to win playoff games.
But they've been knowing that. What player goes to a team with those sort of expectations and not expect to make it to the playoffs and eventually play for a championship?
Right, but are we? It's almost like in Baltimore, Lamar Jackson catches the smoke when they don't advance. And they don't win. But it's not the players in Dallas. It's the owner. You know, it's just it just boggles my mind.
They want Jerry Jones to sit back and close that mouth of his.
Yeah, I think what Tasha's saying, I think like if you're gonna speak and that's your brand and you're also the most active when it comes to your mouth, you're also gonna get the smoke too in return. And so that's what I mean. I mean, like he's the one that's talking about everything.
Boils down to he's talking too much. Like they say, you don't ever see any other owner, but I mean, no other owner is going to garner the attention that Jerry Jones does. He's great for TV. So I mean, I understand why they want the cameras in his face and they want to hear. But I mean, he basically said that Jordan Love was better than Dak Prescott the earlier part of this week, didn't he? Didn't he say he would have won if he would have had Jordan Love or something to that effect? Don't quote me. I can't remember exactly the statement.
It was something to that effect, but Jordan Love did outplay him in that game. I mean, quarterbacks are based on head-to-head matchups in the playoffs.
But when you have an owner that is the face of the entire organization, not your quarterbacks, not your coaches, not anybody else that's always in the camera, he's going to get the strays. They're going to come back to him automatically, whether he deserves them or not.
No, okay, so let me ask you this. Hypothetically, how many championships do the Cowboys win in the last 10 years if Jerry Jones never said a word?
I mean, last 10 years, they really didn't have the players. I mean, again, you're saying that we didn't blame the players. We did.
But fans in general do not.
You're going off of Dallas media. Yeah. Mike and I always said the defense didn't play like they were supposed to.
I said coaching and players when it comes to the playoffs. Like there's something there. I mean, you got to think about like coach. And I already talked to you about that. Like I think it was like the last 2 minutes of a couple of those final games. I'm like, man, come on, that's clock management right there. Like that's not just on Dak. I mean, it is because he's a veteran quarterback at this point, and you should know. Right. But also it's your coach too. Like, hey, let's take this timeout, or like, hey, we need to talk about this. But they don't do that.
That's the coaching. But I'm still wondering how is that Jerry? Like you can't change coaches every year. Mike Tomlin has been Jeff Fisher for the last decade.
But yeah. You're talking to two people who like Jerry Jones, though. So I like Jerry Jones.
Yeah, he's Jeff Fisher.
It ain't finna be no Mike Tomlin slander. And I said
Mike Tomlin has been reduced to at least we didn't have a losing season.
Ain't no Mike Tomlin slander.
Those Steelers are okay with the just winning season.
Oh, let's just get to 9. Let's just get to 9 wins.
Okay with the 9. Yeah.
Streak alive. Come on,
because why you ain't got their owner out there talking about it's Super Bowl or bust.
So then why ain't he winning then? If they owner ain't talking. He should be doing better then, right?
If you say one more thing about Mike Tomlin, I'm gonna jump.
Look, I'm saying we've seen it work with the Pittsburgh Steelers. The owners don't say a word.
You saw him. He went to practice the other day in his black Air Force Ones and his white socks.
Remember he told that black reporter? That's what I said.
He about to stand on business this season.
Mike, 9-8 loading. Which do you want, the first 6 or the last 6 wins? Like what come on, 9-8 loading. We're gonna get to the AFC North in a couple of weeks. But I'm saying why, like, Jerry is not gonna stop talking. They gotta show up and play. They gotta show up and play.
What I hear from Jerry Jones is pretty much saying this is the last year for this team. And that's why you got a lot of fans pretty much like, okay, well, it doesn't sound like they're going to do any moves this season. And we already saw what last season was. So let's just go ahead and just dip out this season.
This ship now. Because what if you don't pay CD? CD's going to sit out. Are you going to get another receiver? I mean, receivers are.
History's shown that they've replaced their star receivers for the last 10 years. They just shuffle them out.
Yeah. Cowboys going to miss the playoffs this year.
But when is your luck out when it comes to receivers? I mean, like I said, they got lucky. They had Irvin. They had Dez. They got. I mean,
how's it luck when you're drafting these players? Like they're not just falling in their laps.
You can always draft a player that turns out not to be good.
They've had tremendous success. I remember y'all giving the Green Bay Packers praise for how they keep nailing the quarterback position and say they just get that right.
Correction. I've given props to the Cowboys for their draft.
No, I'm just saying that the same could be true for, like, you trust Jordan Love because I said I haven't seen enough games for him to get that kind of money. You said I trust the organization that's going to scout and pick the right quarterback. I trust that with Jerry to pick another receiver if he lets CeeDee Lamb go. Yeah. And last point on as far as him paying the players, It is what all the Cowboys detractors wanted. You said that not you, but I'm saying people have generally said that the Cowboys want clicks over chips. Now, the way to ensure clicks and popularity is to re-sign your three most popular players. That's Dak, CD, and Micah. He ain't gave them a dime yet because he wants to see some playoff success before he doles out that money.
What playoff success are you going to get if you don't have CD in there? Because CD's not going to come unless he gets some money. And Dak is like on his last year, and he's going to be like, why should I go out and play hard for this team? And I'm getting ready to go elsewhere and be the highest paid anyway.
He might blow up this team.
Then you're trying to have it both ways then. And I'm saying the team is trying to have it both ways.
He might do it. Jerry would do it.
Why would I make these players the highest paid players at their position and I'm still not winning playoff games?
No, I fully understand that. That's why when he said, all in on this season, meaning y'all gonna have to get out here and play. I'm not going to keep opening up this purse.
Which means that he's prioritizing winning over popularity then, right?
But this for the first time?
All in. That's what I'm trying to tie back into all in. He's saying I'm going all in this year. If y'all don't tell me that y'all going to win, I'm going to blow this thing up.
He's going to blow it up.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But you still can't be out there talking about the quarterback that beat your quarterback. You'd rather have him and he was better. Yeah, he was better in that game. I mean, he may turn out to be better than Dak. But again, once I'm in your pocket, I'm in your pocket, and I just can't talk bad about Dak. I just won't. But
9 years though.
I know.
With some really good rosters
and
2 playoff wins.
It's with the Cowboys, I say it's more coaching and players, which we've always said. But again, Jerry needs to just sit back on that yacht and just you're gonna get the money, Jerry, because that's really what's most important to you. I think if Jerry got this Super Bowl, we probably will never hear from Jerry again, though.
I don't think there's ever a situation where you won't hear from him until he got his hands over his heart and he's
you didn't hear from him in that lawsuit, but
which he won.
Yeah, because they decided exactly.
He says all it means this is it. Y'all better get this or get off the pot. Right. To which Cowboy fans and Cowboy detractors have been wanting from Jerry for years. They say, he just coddles these players. He just pays them to put butts in the seats.
But are they going to pay CD?
I don't know. If I'm Jerry, I'm not touching you. Nobody's getting a penny until after the season is over.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's why I'm saying he's going to blow it up. And another thing that's helping him, a couple things. One, he's seeing that all these college top players are easily transitioning. Besides the quarterback, I think quarterback is still a little iffy there. But all the players are easily transitioning to the NFL and making a direct impact or a quick impact. Two, right. I think he's finally seeing okay, maybe the fans are okay with me blowing up. As you see, they're actually doing something and not showing up. It's like, hey, you need to do something. And Jerry Jones is like, okay, fine. If they don't win a playoff game or don't make the playoffs, then I'm going to blow it up.
Right. And I'm totally behind him on that because if you look at teams let's just use the Detroit Lions, for example. You holding on to a Matthew Stafford as your cash cow, your golden goose, and they're like, no, let's get rid of him. They got rid of him. And yes, he went on to have success with the Rams, but Detroit got better addition by subtraction and rebuilding that team into a new image.
Well, did you see what was the guy that they had? He's like the top 5 quarterbacks in NFC, and he had Matthew Stafford as number 1. I definitely don't agree with that.
Woo! I don't agree with that either. But one more time, these fans, this won't be a reflection in September. Y'all,
it is. They're gonna miss.
It's gonna be a reflection come October.
The Cowboys. They got enough talent to make the playoffs this year. I just think that it's gonna come down to win. There's nobody in the NFC East that's gonna keep them out of the playoffs.
They might pull one of those oh no, my hamstring hurt. It's contract year.
I'm sick.
And your hamstring can be hurt on the trading block because CD don't have no leverage. I can get more for you. I can get more for you than from you. I can get a number 1 for you.
Yeah.
And maybe a number 3.
They gonna give him a number 1, a number 2, and 3 more.
And that's what the Cowboys need. Blow it up.
A number 1, a number 2.
Yeah, large size. Can I get extra ranch on the side, please?
And super size. We gonna get that gratis. for
Right.
free.
And think about this: the way
And
the
he's
NFL
going to the
works-
Eagles too.
Look, y'all been trying to buy a chip for years. Ain't no look. First of all, y'all can't pay all them people. Y'all can't pay. And me personally, I wouldn't care where he went.
Or the
because I know
49ers, that would look good too.
Jerry is going to draft a replacement for him. I got faith in Jerry. I trust when it come to that draft.
Yeah,
Jerry,
load up.
See college football this season and see what receivers are hot coming up.
Langston is coming in hot. Brand new grandfather, by the way. Congratulations.
It is a scheme. That's a whole different story. That's
Hey.
NFC. That's NFC East.
There are a lot of CDs in the draft. Mike is either overrated or schemed out in crucial times. Either way, no show at crucial moments, and that was the deal in the Green Bay game. They were running right at him, Langston. You saw it. They were running right at him.
That's not the position he plays, though, man.
Right. I would say
No, if you want to be the highest paid quarterback in the league, I need you to do some stuff out of your comfort zone. See, that's what I'm talking about. All these excuses for these players.
I mean, it's just like you have players who have shown that they're versatile at their position and still have been able to garner success.
Ask old 8-ball. Lawrence Taylor. Play me inside, play me outside, play me on the D line.
You know, you're not
going to slot.
You're not going to call that man A-ball. But I mean, it's like you don't want to be mediocre. Do you want to be labeled as mediocre?
No, we do not want to be Pittsburgh.
Dang.
You better be glad Sasha on that plane. You better be glad Sasha on that plane.
I would rather loot flame out in January than just be like, oh, that was another season. We're in year 23 of no losing season.
You better be glad. Let me see Mike Tomlin.
I'm in my 30th year in Pittsburgh. We ain't had a losing season yet. Have you made the playoffs? No, but we got black Air Force Ones. And TJ Watt's grandson is our outside linebacker.
We could talk about that when their time comes. How about that?
Okay. Because I'm just saying.
He said these on the way to your house, Paul. And he said,
I will rock those too. I will rock them. I love
them. Just sent that to me. He just sent it.
Okay, so bottom line is we all agree that this is a piss or get off the pot year for the Cowboys. I'm of the mindset, just to see where everybody's final thoughts are. I'm of the mindset, don't pay anybody until after the season and see how things shake out to see if you need to blow this thing up and start from scratch. Because there is a Shedeur Sanders sitting out there that Deion can get to Dallas. There's a Shedeur out there. Mike, don't gasp.
No, my neck hurt,
When Shedeur get out to Frisco.
Let me help you, Mike. Because I think mine's starting to hurt too. Come on, Mike. Get me right here,
Mike. Shedeur, when the Sanders show up in Dallas again.
Thank you, Mike.
The last time a Sanders was on the roster, we took that thing to the house in my Deion voice. We took that thing all the way to the chip. And who we beat? Pittsburgh. All right, I digress. The QB draft this week. Oh, come on, Wayne. It's all about Shedeur. It's all about Shedeur.
Update. She's on the plane, and what's the first thing she says?
Oh, wow.
She made the flight.
She said, Weezy F, baby, please say the baby. So, Mike, would you pay these players before the season?
No, I told you, blow it up. Like, just taking.
Would you pay everybody before the season?
I mean, I would want CD to stay there, even though everyone says CD is replaceable. I would still want CD to stay there, but, I mean, Dak can go.
Dang, she said kick rocks.
I'm ready to move on, too. And the thing is, I don't want wish him ill. I mean, it could be a situation like the Rams, where he goes to a situation and finally gets the ring that he so longly deserved and wanted for. And then the Cowboys get to kind of redo that thing. A 9-year run with that core. All right, we get it. It's time to let's
back to the 49ers.
I mean, after 9 years, when do you – I mean, it's kind of like – it makes me think of if they do win. Remember when Steve Young finally won the Super Bowl, and the first thing he said was, get this monkey off my back.
That funky monkey, yeah. And that was his seminal moment, and he been eating off that one ring for my and rightfully so, because he took a lot of hits for that organization. The style of play that he was playing in that physical era, that wasn't very smart.
He was a running quarterback.
Yes, he was a prototypical running quarterback that developed into a passer, and he always had that dog on the champion. I'm not going to crap on Steve Young because he crush the Cowboys dynasty. All right, now our countdown to kickoff series continues with the AFC West and the reigning champion, two-time defending champion, Kansas City Chiefs. 3 in the last 4 years. Let's start with the Chiefs. They're looking to become the first team in NFL history to get 3 championships in a row. Let's start with the early betting favorite. Mike, are you taking KC or the field if you had to bet your mortgage today?
Damn, that's too much money.
Yeah,
I'll take the field. I'll take the field. I'll take the field.
The field, huh?
Yeah.
Jay-Z said, bet everything you're worth and lose your tie and your shirt. We might have to do a little side something on that. Oscar, you taking the Kansas City Chiefs or the field?
I'm taking the field because I already told y'all I'm going for the Ravens. Ravens are my pick.
Okay, so you just answered my next question. So I'm gonna come to you, Mike. What team, if you're taking the field? Y'all, I had a feeling they was gonna take the field, so I already have my field question set up for them.
Look at you, go start for Paul.
Hey, these two ways, me and you must have one heart. All right, who is going to keep them from number 3, Mike?
I already said this. I said it was going to be a rematch. I got the Eagles.
Man had 32 fans in the stands, and now he talking about the Eagles about to win the Super Bowl. Didn't we just see them lose to Baker Mayfield? Why ain't they getting no smoke? How did the Cowboys become the post?
The offseason. That's why.
How does? Thank you, Langston. Come on, man. We can make a tag team bet on that. KC. Now, Tasha, let me ask you this. I'm talking to you, Tasha. How is the Cowboys, and rightfully so, that the Cowboys is getting crushed for unrealized expectations last year? But the Eagles lost like 6 of their last 7 games. They was like 11-1, didn't win another game the whole year. Got beat by Tampa.
No, the difference is you could see in the Eagles games that they were slowed and they just lacked it last year. They just didn't. The Eagles weren't good last year. The Cowboys have been consistently the same.
You whispered something. Go ahead, Tasha, but I want Mike to.
Wait a minute, Mike. Keep talking, because I actually pulled this. Wait a minute. I got to get this.
You said give up.
I knew this was coming. Keep talking.
Did you say quit, Mike? Go ahead.
Yeah, they quit last season. That's why when they were going to make the playoffs, and I was like, no. I was like, I didn't want that because they gave up. I mean, you saw that with our center was making. I mean, yeah, I know he was our captain, but it's like, man, you're making the biggest mistakes. Yeah, he was making the biggest mistakes. Making what was it called? Like offsides penalties. I'm like, you're the center. Stop moving the ball.
That's how y'all was getting all those push yards because y'all was cheating.
Okay, now, I knew when I needed it, I wasn't going to be able to find it because I wrote it down. It was like it showed for the last few seasons every step that the Cowboys have made. They have been playoffs. At first round, is the Cowboys have been consistently here. The Eagles were here, then they went here. So they're not going to get the same criticism as a team who's been
because of their recent Super Bowl appearance. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. But Mike, I'm trying to tie in y'all quitting 6 months ago to y'all going to be the ones to knock off Patrick Mahomes this year. Give us a reason why that would be as an Eagles fan.
We made a lot of offseason moves, and I know you said, "Oh, well, y'all always make offseason moves. Like that's what y'all do." And I'm like,
I'm not here to troll. I'm really asking for the people.
They make a lot of moves, specifically on the defensive side. We have a new center now, so I think also Jalen Hurts was hurt, and I think he tried to play through that. And I think they just said, "Hey, let's just take this season off. Like this ain't it." So that's what I'm going with.
I'm surprised you didn't say Saquon because that was the biggest addition to me. To have,
I don't think. I mean, that he's a cherry on top to the scheme. But it's not like we don't need this all-star back to make the offense. I think we need Jalen Hurts to be on his A game to make the offense.
Okay, fair enough. And y'all better get A.J. Brown that ball because he's going to make life a living hell. Exactly. And Nick Sirianni, you are right there alongside Mike McCarthy on that damn hot seat.
You got 1 year, yep.
Right. They both on their last year, right? Maybe they could do a signing trade with the 2 coaches.
Nope, don't want them. Nope.
Like we want Sirianni, old crybaby looking ass. Nobody
Rather
want
have
no
him than
money.
McCarthy.
McCarthy got a ring.
Stop it.
Again, that ring is done tarnished.
But Steve Young's ain't.
I didn't say
One ring.
you the one brought up Steve Young.
Dirk's one ring ain't tarnished. Like, we're not going to do that for one ring.
You the one
Only
said
got
that he
one
was
mic.
living off of it. I didn't say nothing of the such. I just said like Steve Young taking the monkey off his back. I didn't say nothing about his jewelry.
Tasha, if Mahomes does 3 in a row, that would give him, what, 4 rings? Will that put him in the GOAT debate? How many rings does he need to enter to make a legitimate case for the GOAT debate?
I'm not a ring person for
Y'all
making
Jordan versus LeBron.
Huh? No, I didn't.
I'm just playing, because come on.
Thank you. Don't. You got to. I always got to bring old Beijing into it. I never want. Y'all know I'm not a ring person. I'm not a ring counter. The majority of the world and the sports as a whole. Stop.
What with the Beijing? They playing the hour. Let's go.
Stop.
Go ahead.
Most of the world is a ring counter. I'm not a ring counter. I just think Patrick Mahomes' play puts him up here. It doesn't matter about the rings. But I was listening to was it Uncle Ocho? Was it Uncle? It was one of those sports shows. I don't think it was Uncle Ocho, but they were talking about like greatest quarterbacks. And somebody said, well, what about Dan Marino? And they said they don't mention Dan Marino no more.
Pound for pound, arm for arm, Dan Marino doesn't get in the backseat for no quarterback. Not a one. Not what he did in the 80s when the game was not when you could literally clothesline a receiver within 5 yards, when you could just dump a receiver on the hit, when you could hit the quarterback in their knees, he was throwing for 4,800 yards and 45 touchdowns. That's unheard of.
So that's what I'm saying. You can't say Trent Dilfer is better than Dan Marino because he got a ring. Right. You can't say he's better than Jim Kelly because he got a ring. It's the way that they played. And I'm going to if Mahomes never wins another ring, I'm going to still put him at the top because I'm not a ring counter. And it has nothing to do with the fact that I hate Tom Brady because Tom Brady is probably, just outstandingly. I can't even really say that because Tom Brady's style of play, I'm really not a fan of his style of play. He just wins. And that's what puts him on top because Al Davis, just win, baby. He just wins.
And I wouldn't even have Brady in my top 10 as far as quarterback talents, but he's the GOAT. Because he put the stats and the championship together.
Right, because his style of play is boring. But what the things that Mahomes is out here on this field doing, game in, game out, even in losses, the way he plays, it's just outstanding.
How many rings does Mahomes need for you, Mike, to enter the GOAT debate?
Not enough. I'm with Tasha. I don't count rings either. Because I gotta think, Peyton Manning, has 2. Is Mahomes better than Peyton Manning? Absolutely not. I think for me, it's understanding what they do for the game and what they need for the game. So, Mahomes needs a great coach, and I'm talking about great coach. You give him McCarthy, I guarantee you he won't win. Guaranteed. Because what I saw on that field is he needs someone to tell him because he hasn't been necessarily developed to understand the game and how to adjust the game. Andy Reid gives him those plays, and you've even seen him. I don't know if y'all seen the QB1, but you've even seen Mahomes be like, "Oh, I don't know about that. Let's see if this works." Touchdown, and he's like, "Oh, that was a good call, coach." I'm like, "Bruh,
I give him." What you're saying, Mike. You see just a little bit of the welfare queen in him.
Yeah. He needs a lot of help.
Now, before people get triggered by welfare queen, can you please elaborate on what you mean by that? You're talking about a player.
A quarterback that played at Southern Miss who stole welfare funds that could have gone to people in need, and he stole it to build his daughter a volleyball court down at his old university, and his name is one Brett Welfare Queen Favre.
Okay, I just want them to understand. So when you say it again, we won't have to say, "Oh, okay, you're talking about Brett Favre." Mike, that's some shockingly stern criticism of Patrick Mahomes, who is by far and away the best quarterback of this generation. And as far as Peyton Manning is concerned, the longevity of Peyton Manning and the level of excellence that he played with. I mean, he had Tony Dungy for a lot of those years and Marvin Harrison and Edgerrin James, who are both in the Hall of Fame. Reggie Wayne is going to be in the Hall of Fame.
But that was his team. He was adjusting. He was making those audibles. He was rerouting. He was the captain of that team. I don't think Patrick Mahomes is the captain of that team, and he's not adjusting the offensive. Andy Reid is adjusting the offense.
You got a point, Mike. You got a point.
So you're saying that Mahomes is a system quarterback? That he wouldn't be able to do this anywhere else?
I think a lot of quarterbacks are system quarterbacks nowadays. And that's kind of goes back to our point of like these quarterbacks aren't being developed in a right way. They're being developed to like listen to your coach.
Because I don't think he couldn't do that at the Titans. He would not be as successful if he played for the Titans. He could with what Dallas has. If he was in Dallas, I can see him doing it.
Okay, so Angels advocate, would Brady have been a Hall of Famer if he played in Tennessee?
No.
So is he really the GOAT then?
I mean, y'all know he's not my GOAT, so I didn't say.
No,
that.
I'm just saying that so we've established that Brady is most of us have established that Brady is the greatest of all time, and he was in Belichick's system. So yes, he won a Super Bowl late with Tampa Bay, but
but Lyron Rodgers threw that game away. He when he could have made other choices.
Right, they were dead to right when he decided. But Mahomes make the right off script plays. It's the intangibles and the running ability. Tennessee had their ass on the ropes. It was 17-7 in the third quarter. Derrick Henry was gashing them fools. Patrick Mahomes just went willy-nilly and went off script to Langston's point.
But I can't even see him if he was in Seattle, even though you got DK Metcalf up there. I can't see him doing that in Seattle. I can't see him doing that in Arizona. I really can't see him doing that. I could see him doing it in Houston. But yeah, I'm kind of inclined.
If Patrick Mahomes was on the Tennessee Titans, we're going to the Super Bowl this year.
No. Oh no.
We absolutely are going to.
No, because you don't have the things. You don't have the nice, pretty, shiny toys around him.
Oh,
no.
D-Hop, Calvin Ridley, Tyler Boyd, Tajay Spears, Pollard. They have better skill sets than what they have in Kansas City. There's no cheetah out there. That receiving crew led the league in drops last year.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? You can wrap it up in cellophane.
Ain't got no Kelsey.
The good tape, the good Scotch tape, and put it in the actual box with wrapping paper, not a gift bag. It wouldn't happen at the Titans because you can't wrap them up like that. Nope.
You just can't even be objective when it comes to Tennessee. You're so.
I'm aware, y'all say in the booth you got to tell the truth. Don't I always tell the truth? This even goes for my team. Don't I always tell the truth on my team? When they suck.
Truth is, Titans been to a couple of AFC Championship games. The Titans ain't the Carolina Panthers now. We gonna get that right. We gonna get that right. And let's move on because we got stuck in. And right, they do have the tight end is the difference. How come nobody can guard Travis Kelce?
Yeah, why don't they double team him? I mean, Kansas City specifically don't have anybody else. So
I mean, it's easy.
That's why Mahomes is the GOAT.
The fact that his separation, I mean, and it's not like he's fast. How is he getting wide open and separated like that?
Or athletic. Now, when I see him doing like the all of that in the end zone and stuff like that, he's got some shiftiness. He can do a gangster line, but I don't see him just streaking down the field like Antonio Gates,
right?
Or Tony Gonzalez,
right? You ain't seeing that.
But he is smoking them in the pantheon of all-time great tight ends. Even Shannon Sharp as well. Kelce stacks up better than all of them except for Gronk, and I think he's going to pass Gronk if he keeps playing at a high level. Like that dude what he does to Buffalo. Damn, Buffalo.
What about this is kind of sidetrack, but what if you trained a faster tight end to just defend Kelce? That might work.
Kelce gonna lead the league in touchdowns is what's gonna happen. Because the guy is just a tactician with running them routes. Let's go to the Chargers real quick. All right. Los Angeles has a brand new everything, all new everything. It's income tax time in Los Angeles. They got new car drive out tags, a new weave. They got some new furniture. You got a new coach in Jim Harbaugh. You got Keenan Allen gone, Mike Williams gone, starting receivers gone, starting running back was gone, who was their third leading receiver in Austin Eckler. Whole new team. And now Justin Herbert, the franchise quarterback, has a plantar fascia injury in his foot and is out until probably the start of the season. Tasha, the Chargers won 5 games last year. Are we looking at another last place finish for the Chargers?
Yeah, because I know I'm jumping the gun, but I see the Raiders doing better than them.
Yep.
You agree, Mike?
Yeah, I think they're going to take this one out.
Now, let me ask you this from a fantasy football standpoint. Does Jim Harbaugh's coaching style hurt Herbert's fantasy value?
Yes, because Harbaugh doesn't necessarily sling it, like gun it. He likes to balance the offense. So it's not like 70-30 to where he likes to do like 50-50 run and pass. So definitely.
Tasha?
Yeah, what Mike said, but when you get desperate, you start throwing shit up, and sometimes what you throw up, it comes down the correct way.
Which is good for fantasy football. I mean, I didn't care about them winning 5 games. I knew he was going to drop back 50 times a game and hurl it all over the lot. So from a fantasy standpoint, he was serviceable. I don't really care about your wins or loss on the actual field. I just think that may hurt him from a fantasy standpoint. If you're Herbert, do you think this marriage is going to be a good one? Do you think he's going to like having the ball taken out of his hands?
I don't think so, because that's what his game is predicated on. Is pass. And
right.
Harbaugh is one of those coaches. He's not going to back down. He don't care what anybody says. He's going to do him.
JJ McCarthy was a 5-star. He took the air out of his hands.
And did you see they're saying that JoJo may actually be the starter, beating out the starters over there in New England?
I always thought that he was a better pro prospect than a college player. Joe Mixon was, just because of his size and the way that he's able to get the ball down the field.
He got a strong arm.
They say he's performing better than Drake May and Jacoby Brissett.
I heard that too.
Jacoby Brissett is a very nice seatbelt to have. When you're driving down the road fast. That was an excellent pickup for a team that's trying to break in 2 young.
But again, one of the shows I was listening to, they said the best way to keep your black quarterback starting is to have a black backup. Because it's like, if you replace him, you got to replace him with another black quarterback anyway. So just keep him in there.
Mike, Tasha gonna get one in every week, ain't she? Like sometimes there's not even an opening, and she's gonna get it in. I love it. All right, let's go to Denver and Las Vegas. They both finished with matching 8-9 records last year. You can only pick one. Who's closer to getting over to a winning season? Who's closer to being Mike Tomlin, 9-8? The Raiders or the Broncos, Tasha?
The Raiders.
Mike?
Yeah, I like the Raiders too.
What about Bo Nix and Sean Payton? Now, he got what he wanted.
Bo Nix is looking pretty good up there in Denver.
I don't like Sean Payton, so.
Yeah, I don't either.
Bo Nix played 137 games in college.
The
man played on every coast.
In his second year in the league.
He's got experience, and I think he's got a lot to prove, too, because he was one of the most dominant college quarterbacks last year, but nobody talked about him in the draft. It was all about the other ones. Like, nobody gave a damn about him. We'll see how that works out. Personally, I think Denver might be worse than the Chargers. I'm gonna take Harbaugh over Sean Payton. I'm gonna take Harbaugh over Sean Payton. And Sean, when you run off your star quarterback, the next one on that chopping block is you. Mm-hmm. When you do that, the owner's like, now I paid Russell all this money. Mm-hmm. Now I'm gonna listen to you and get rid of him. But if we go backwards, that's your ass, Mr. Postman. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is day 7 of the Olympics over there in Paris. You see it, Mike. How much of the Olympics have you been watching?
We watch every day.
Okay,
so you've been keeping up daily. Tasha, how much Olympics have you been watching?
I watched every day except for yesterday. Yesterday was the first day that I didn't just want to tune in.
Well, you may want to tune in tonight. Go ahead, Tasha.
Oh, I mean, because, the gymnastics was done. I saw what I needed to see. I saw Katie Ledecky lap them poor people.
Mm-hmm.
Sure did.
Y'all, Katie was swimming this way. The other people was coming this way. It was 17 seconds.
She looked like the mixed USA 4x100 relay team. 4x400 relay team
That's
yesterday.
a bad girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's done her thing. Mike, who have you been most impressed with since you've been watching every day? What any athlete, any sport? What has stood out to you?
I would say the sports that we don't necessarily do well at. So the men's gymnastics, shout out to the two Michigan alumni, or one alumni, one student, to them, because and I asked Stacey this too. I was like, how come we're not very good or competitive when it comes to men's gymnastics, but women's gymnastics we just elite at?
But that's what Frederick Richard is trying to do. He said he wants to make men's gymnastics like women's gymnastics. I've been following him on Instagram for a little over a year now, and he posts a lot of things to gain engagement. Like he actually had the Michigan quarterback on there. He's had all different Michigan athletes trying to do things that gymnasts do to see if they can do it. Who does it better, a pole vaulter or a gymnast? He's really been doing good, and he is trying to grow the sport. He's only 20 years old. I think Judah may be 23 or so. I think
it's a young team.
And I think it was like Tim Daggett or somebody, they were saying how in these other countries, the men's gymnastics, it's something that's pushed on them in school. They take gymnastics in school, like the Japanese, the Chinese. We don't do that. It's not a requirement in school that you take gymnastics in our schools, because other sports take precedence over gymnastics. So it's always going to be a harder climb, because you think most of the women gymnastics, they don't go to school. They're tutored. Their school is gymnastics, which is why they tend to dominate so much. Whereas the men, they go to school, but they just go to a gymnastics club. Like most of the athletes, they were attached to a school during the trials and things like that. They had on their school uniforms. Like you saw several of the guys from Stanford. You saw one of the guys from Penn State. You saw Judah and Richard from Michigan. That's what you saw. You didn't see a gymnastics club uniform. And I think that's the difference.
What has been you all's thoughts, and feel free for anyone to jump in there. What have been y'all's thoughts on NBC's coverage of it? Have you been able to find everything you want to see? Are you liking the prime time? Are you liking the fact that you can jump around on Peacock? Do you not like Peacock? What do you think about the actual presentation of the Olympics?
I mean, I liked it. I mean, if I had to work a regular 9 to 5, I wouldn't be happy. But the fact that I sit here on my couch and do my work sometimes, I can watch what I want to watch during the day. And then at nighttime, I'm not. So, I don't have to sit there and wait for the results.
Mike, we know you got to run here in just a second. So quick question for you. One, how are you able to avoid spoilers to watch it at night? How are you able to do that?
Yeah, usually if we're on track, then at night is when they do the daily recap, and that's kind of what we watch, and we start from the beginning. If we miss and we got to go find that recording, from the day prior or something like that, that's when it gets spoiled, because it'll be like the other day we were trying to find it, and it's like Simone wins gold or something. Like, dang, we didn't get to see it yet.
I mean, to me, I don't care about a spoiler. If they say Simone Biles won that gold, because I did miss it that day because I actually had to leave. I was the whole time I'm out, and I was in another city. I'm still good because I want to know what she did. She won. I was like, oh, let me see how she won. I still want to watch it. Yeah,
I've been watching it like throughout the day as well. But there's something that I do love about the recap, and so I do use that. It's hard in 2024 to avoid spoilers. So kudos to you for doing that. Mike, we're going to let you get on out of here and get your Saturday started. Thank you for joining us. T-Sizzle, Mike, you want to chime in on this? T-Sizzle, who are your top U.S. Olympians of all time?
Since you told me I couldn't put Jesse Owens on the list.
No Jesse Owens.
As if he was going to be on the list.
Well, he should have.
I'm going to actually take out, let Mike go first, because I know Mike's got to go. Mike, if you wanted to chime in. Because, I always
go ahead, Mike.
No, We usually agree on this. As long as you have Phelps and some of the high decorated, I mean, you definitely have to have Simone on there because she just demolishing the
I
field.
have Simone. I have Apollo Ono. That's speed skating. That's Winter Olympics for you guys.
I knew you was gonna come with somebody out the box. Good job.
Because Apollo Ono is. I got Katie Ledecky. You got to give it to her. And I said Phelps.
Yeah.
And then the 5th spot is still up for grabs because that was my thing. I don't know if I want to retire people like a FloJo or Carl Lewis or Michael Johnson.
Now, FloJo and Carl Lewis were on my list. They were phenomenal. I also got Mary Lou Retton because she was the first person to globalize United States athletics in the 80s from the Wheaties standpoint and kind of being the media darling of United States gymnastics and kind of setting the template for all of the great women gymnasts that came behind her. So got Mary Lou on there as well. Mike, you got any shout outs before you head out?
Shout out. I wanted to shout out because I think I talked to y'all offline about the women's rugby. Man, that was crazy how it finished on the last second play. Ended up busting through the line and just scoring like that. I don't even know rugby plays, but I was tuning in. I was like, oh, okay. And then the other team, I forgot who it was, like Italy or something or Australia, and they missed the extra point, so it like left it open as a tie or to tie. And then I was like, man, this is wild. So shout out to Olympics, USA in general, showing up in the sports that we don't normally show up.
Like fencing and rowing and to your point, men's gymnastics where they hadn't medaled in a long time. Yeah. They're doing well. Tasha, before you get to your top 5, I
just gave you my top 5. I was just leaving.
Oh, you did. Okay, you did. Sha'Carri or Sherry Ann Fraser Price tonight in the 100 meter.
Oh, stop it! Come on.
Look,
about to be
they tied up 1-1. Sha'Carri was leader in the worlds, but
without Jackson in the field, that took a lot of less pressure and stress off of Sha'Carri. Sha'Carri's got to start. Y'all know that's the worst part of her run is her
she
start.
finishes strong. Yeah,
but that girl started in the semis
because from 50 on, you're not gonna catch her. Shelly Ann Fraser Price, man. I mean, she's a senior citizen. She out there doing it for us.
She really is. She's phenomenal as well.
But the last time they raced, I do believe Sha'Carri got them
from the outside lane. Nobody was even looking at her to run her down, and they have met on the big stage. I think Fraser Price last Olympics, World Championships. Of course, we all know what happened with Sha'Carri. She wasn't able to make it to Tokyo. Because of the
Jamaicans went 1, 2, and 3.
The Jamaicans went 1, 2, and 3, but in the worlds, she knocked all 3 of them off. She did.
She did.
And they want her wig on a stick.
Baby, she got the good lace front end. Did y'all see her even in the rain?
She got that Olympic wig, Mike. She got that Olympic wig.
She has that confidence too. That's the key. That's the key for a sprinter, the confidence.
Right. Remember when she snatched that wig off in the worlds? She was like, I'm running with
Kerry Washington wearing the wig on Instagram, rooting for Sha'Carri. She put that whole outfit on, the orange wig and the Nike track outfit.
USA, let's go. Let's go. Tasha, who you shouting out this week?
Oh, man, I had all these shout-outs ready. Go to Mike first. Who did
I already did mine.
Mike did his shout. I'll do my shout-outs. I want to give a shout-out to my cousin Joseph Calvin Tate, who is getting married today in Nashville. I love you, cuz. Congratulations. I am there in spirit. Can't wait to see the pictures. Want to give a shout out to my nephew, Carter Paul Coulter, who has his jamboree today. He's making his post-COVID return to the gridiron. He hadn't played in since COVID started. So we're excited for him and throwing positive energy out there for you to go out there and knock some fools around. Number 54, Carter Coulter. Tasha, the floor is yours.
Oh, yeah, I did. I did it early. I want to shout out to Patrick Willis, 49er, even though he's the old piss, for being inducted into the NFL Hall of Fame. I think
well deserved.
Are tonight. Yeah. Shouts out to Sasha, guys. Again, she did make the flight. She's on her way again, working her thug fizzle, her hustle. She's working a golf tournament in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Way to go.
Shouts out to Silver Airways. For y'all don't know,
Silver fans.
You know what? Puerto Rico has better VA clinic. So we took a little trip out there to the VA clinic and back. So shouts out to Silver Airways for getting us there safe to and fro.
All right. And ladies and gentlemen, make sure you tune into the Olympics today. We have the 100-meter finals where the Jamaicans and Sha'Carri go head-to-head on the biggest stage. And we also have USA basketball that's starting in T-minus 2 minutes. So until then, we'll see you in 6 days and 23 hours. Go Blue!
Go Blue.
Vamos Azul.